What it do? What it do? Y'all see the description? Shit real in the field. Julio, foolio killers got found guilty of first-degree murder, but instead of the death penalty, they got life. And when I seen the reactions of the sentence when they got life, right, you know, a lot of them felt relieved, like they was like, you know, and it's like, that's crazy that you were just stepping, living a life, celebrating in a club, Papa Don Julio, and when you get caught, you want to be remorseful about it. You know what I mean? So you only remorseful because you got caught. You know what I mean? Like if you wouldn't have got caught, you would have been making rap videos, you know what I mean, still drinking Don Julio and celebrating still, you know what I mean? So the only person I feel like who stayed who they was from the moment they got caught to the end was the Damian Murphy dude. Like, you know, he was laughing in court. He was who he was because he know either way it goes with all the evidence against him, from the Uber driver to highway footage, niggas using their grandma's car and on video wiping the car down. You know what I mean? Like it was just way too much evidence that linked y'all to the hit. You know what I mean? And I hear a lot of people in the comments saying, "Oh, they stupid. They stupid," because to y'all it's stupid because with the modern era, with cameras and everything being so weird, and they got tag readers and shit that, you know, it comes off as a stupid hit. But if this was like 40 years ago, 50 years ago, they would have got away with that shit. The boys had shell catchers, and you know what I mean? It's just the modern era made it look like, damn, why would they do that shit? But at the same time, you got people who, when people live the lifestyle that they talk about or rap about, when they do the shit, you know, you see the fans or the viewers turn on them and say that was stupid, they shouldn't have done it and all that. But in reality, we all like people who really live what they talk about, you know what I mean, or what they rap about. So it's like a it's like a two-way street, but it's like when a person actually do what they say, you know what I mean? You what's up, Dad? uh you fought them for it because they live in what they rapping about and things that they talking about, they live in it. So then when they catch these outrageous ass charges, murder and kidnapping and all that, you know, people in the comments be like, "Oh, they stupid. Oh, they I wouldn't have done that shit. Woulda, woulda, woo." But you know, like I said, you can't make them. What's up? What it do? You can't make everybody happy. You know what I mean? But to me, it's funny because when you in a courtroom and they bring in all these different psychology type people, you know what I mean, to try to figure and pick these dudes' brains on why they did what they did, and you know, they talk about their upbringing and their history and shit, and you know what I mean, they bring in all different types of people who known them through life and shit like that to testify on their behalf and shit like that. But when I seen this one warden from a prison come in there and he was talking about, instead of giving them the death penalty, how they could be used in prison because you got a lot of old guys who doing life like them, who never going home, who the labor they need, they can't really do like that because a lot of them in wheelchairs, and that these four guys shouldn't be killed, that they could be used. You know what I mean? Like the warden from the prison was talking about them like some back in the day slavery shit, like auction bidding type shit. You know what I mean? And reality really kicked in on them boys' faces, like some of them, because you could hit a ward and say, hell, instead of giving them the death penalty, we can use the sweat equity. And I've never in my life heard nobody say no shit like that in my life, as far as even on a TV show, a movie role, or anything, as far as somebody playing a warden or prison guard. I never heard a warden from a prison say that instead of killing these guys for what they did, we can use the sweat equity out of them. They're young, they healthy. This is all the shit he's saying, like some shit that, like, if it's an auction bidding on slaves, that the dude who's selling the slave would be promoting to the crowd. Like, look, they healthy, young. Look at him, stand up. Look at him. He's 6'6". Yeah, nice, tall, black. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's strong, healthy. Open your mouth, like they used to make him do back in the day. Lick your tongue out or some shit. Like, so reality really hit them boys. You know what I mean? When you hear this prison warden talking about how they can be used instead of killing them or putting them on death row. You know what I mean? And he described how in Florida, when you got life without parole, even when you die, your body don't go to your family. Like, it goes to, I guess, a prison graveyard on some, like, the movie Life type shit with Martin and Eddie Murphy. If you go see that, that's what this ward described in Life Without Parole, life like in the state of Florida. So I'm in my mind, I'm like, damn, like, and these dudes, they've been locked up. You know what I mean? You ain't smoking weed, you ain't popping pills, you ain't drinking liquor, you ain't, you know what I mean? You sober, you hearing this shit clearly about how people talk about your life now, and you can't do nothing about it. You just got to sit there, listen, and you just shaking your head because this is going to be your life. You know what I mean? Forever. You know what I mean? And your family in there, and they hearing these prosecutors in this war talk about, like, you some type of slave, like, where they just auctioning your ass off. Like, yeah, look at him. Like, he's, we can use him. And like I said, I've never heard nobody say in a courtroom that instead of giving these guys the death penalty, because what they did was outrageous. They planned this, everything was strategic. They had, you know what I mean? They had everything strategized out. And instead of giving them the death penalty, let's keep them alive because they're young and we can use them. You know what I mean? To work the fields or whatever the fuck it is we need them to do, And if reality ain't never hit you, it should hit you hearing people talk about how your life gonna be, and you can't do nothing about it. You can wig out all day. You can join the pill call line in prison. For those who've been locked up know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Where they got a certain bail or some shit and they all go running crazy to the line, lined up. You know what I mean? Trying to get any type of drug to take their mind off. Some people really be needing that shit though, but it's crazy, like, just hearing a warden and people talk about how these guys' lives about to be because a Tesla. When this shit first hit the fan, right, with the Julio foolio, if you ain't tapped in, go on YouTube and put in rapper Julio foolio murder case, and hey, what's up? And put in Julio foolio murder case, and you will see in HD is way more clear than the movies how Tesla footage caught this murder in the act. You know what I mean? And them dudes had masks on, gloves on, shell catchers and shit like that. You know what I mean? They was trailing him, you know what I mean, the entire night. It was this dude's birthday. He was a rapper, what they would consider a drill rapper, meaning somebody who dissed dead people. And, it's a lot of shit that comes with that lifestyle. You're talking about people dead, loved ones who, despite what they did, they still love them. You know what I mean? So he went to a hotel in Tampa. It was his birthday. He was celebrating. And you know what I mean? It went down in the parking lot. But the thing is, a Tesla caught the footage because I wasn't really too familiar with Tesla cars, all like that. Like, I knew the brand, but I didn't know that them and them cyber trucks is the most police shit ever. So I told myself, once I seen that shit, I said from here on out, if you got a cyber truck or a Tesla or some shit like that, I don't want no parts of you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be nowhere near your ass. You know what I mean? Because that's basically a cop car. You know what I mean? Like, and if you don't believe it, just go watch the Julio foolio on YouTube. Put in Julio foolio or say it through your speaker and watch the footage, and you'll see what I'm talking about. More clear than movies. It's HD, and it's from a Tesla. So them cyber trucks and shit like that, like, I don't want no parts of. But my thing is, look, man, it's like this. When you stepping in the streets, man, and you doing street activity, you know what I mean? You try your best, if you a real one, not to involve your loved ones in your street activities. Now, yes, sometimes it could be times where shit could get leaked back and motherfucker might rack where you live at. You know what I mean? I done had them experience as a youth. And then times I've done shit and then somebody find out, well, my mama stay and shit like that and come to the crib, like, you know what I mean, I'm looking for your son. And you know what I mean, they say he did this. So sometimes you have leaks and some shit like that. Sometimes you young, you know what I mean, you getting your crib getting raided. You know what I mean? Your mama don't even really know why they here searching the crib, but you really on the low know what they looking for, but you ain't get caught. So I done been on all sides of the fence of the street shit, you know what I mean? And what you try not to do is involve, if you a real one, your loved ones in your street business, you know what I mean? That's damn near law, you know what I mean? So um a lot of people who know this situation feel that justice was due because this dude been trolling for so long and so many years, you know what I mean? Like, he been and getting away with it. Ain't nobody really been able to really, he done got shot hella times. Like, if you know his history, Julio Foolio, like, if you know, like, he done got shot hella times now. Like, they done got up with his ass, you know what I mean? Hella fucking times, you know what I mean? So the thing is that now, you know what I mean, this time when they got up with him, you know what I mean, it was no more, you know what I mean? And you know, one thing about the devil, he worked through people too, you know what I mean? If you, it's kind of like if you like always talking about death and that's kind of like what you promoting, you know what I mean? At some point, what you keep promoting is going to fall on you, you know what I mean? Because you keep talking about it, you putting yourself in these situations, and a lot of situations that we put ourselves in, these self-inflicted situations, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I say accountability. A lot of people need to take accountability. You know what I mean? Like, if you know you doing street shit, you know what I mean? Like, when I was doing street shit, you know what I mean? My father, you know what I mean? You know, my mom don't hear things, but my father, you know, he, you know, I ain't finna be all like he know what was going on type police shit, but you know, he was aware of, you know, saying some things that, you know, I was into and shit, right? But you try not to let your shit leak back to the crib as far as where motherfuckers is knocking on the door saying we looking for your son, because once you do that, then now shit get gangster because you already know how a nigga rock. So if you bring any type of shit back to the home team, then you got to know probably ain't nobody where you live at in your neighborhood gonna be sleeping at night. You know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of people need to keep it real with their people so they don't be down at the podium at News Fox 8. And they only want to show the pictures when you was in third grade, when you was doing coloring books and shit like that. They don't want to show the new version of you now where you gang and you hanging with the crew and you got guns in your photos and videos and shit like that. They don't want to show that. They don't want to show why you got your ass stretched out. They only want to show when you was 8 years old, you was playing soccer and you made the fucking alphabet team or some shit. And that ain't what was really going on. You know what I mean? You was living a double life type shit. You really doing street shit on the side, but your people don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? So um the thing about trolling, man, like Julio Foolio, man, listen, trolling don't get you far, man. You know what I mean? Being a troll rapper where you talk about and disrespect dead people, at some point it's gonna get up with you. And you know, I see people making fun of him saying, "Oh, that voodoo ran out," because you know he had a song about voodoo or some shit. You know what I mean? And then I've seen him do interviews where he say he slept in a casket. You know what I mean? For what's up, gangster? What's up, Tyler? I've seen him do videos where he said he slept in a casket for 7 days, and you got to uh, cut a goat, throw all this weird ass shit that you got to do, and so I don't rock with none of that type shit. You know what I mean? Like I know God real. I know that shit real. You know what I mean? You can't ever stray me. I done been in situations where no matter what, I'm not straying and turning my back on God. You feel me? So you know, I know it's real. You know what I mean? You can't convince me it's not real. You feel me? But you know, the energy you bring to yourself and shit, that shit reflects and it comes back and it hits your ass 10 times harder. You know what I mean? So like I say, man, sometimes it's, you know, I know this don't got nothing to do with the Jew, but it's like this kind of got to do with the, you know, life, reflecting on life, right, type shit. But like, you know, I seen a random video, right, of a nigga I know, and I've been knowing this nigga since he was a little nigga. And nigga been in jail a whole lot of times and shit like that, right? And I just seen this nigga get a decade. And look, a person could sit in the courtroom all day, right? And they can be at like, oh, what the judge just said, and really eat them all like that, as far as where, you know, you took it on the chin, like, oh, you know, this shit is nothing type shit, like I'll be back. But I did a video about 40 videos ago where I talked about shit like this, right? Like where if you already locked up, right? And you already doing your time, whether it's 10, 20, or whatever it is, you're doing 30 or whatever, right? You know what I mean? Okay, you already doing your time. But the way the world heading right now, you niggas catching these fresh 10s and shit like that, 8s and 20s and 15s and all that shit, that's not a smart move right now. You know what I mean? Like the way the world is heading with this war shit and all the stuff that's going on, that's not being smart. You know what I mean? Like this ain't the time to be doing goofy shit. You know what I mean? And then you finna do 10 years and not get no money, or smelling other niggas' ass and farts and feet, and being gang affiliated because you done picked a side of somebody who you rolling with. You know what I mean? And niggas just stupid, man. Niggas be playing themselves because when you think about it, when you locked up in there, you know what I mean? Like, see, this is shit that when you be free for a long time, you know what I mean? Like when I say a long time, like 20 years type shit, you know what I mean? Like me, you see shit different. Like shit that used to be real ain't real. Like when, like back in my life, like I'm still in the field. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm more of a I ain't gonna lie, I'm still in it, but I ain't really wilding like how I used to be wilding. I'll say that type shit. But like when you be free for a long time, dog, you see shit different. Like I used to be caught up in that shit, like where you think sending a nigga money, pictures, and you damn near write 8 to 10 lines and shit where you be like, you thinking that's real nigga shit, you know what I mean? Your mans get out, you hit them with some racks and shit like that, or you know what I mean, you bless them or you let them know, like, you know, basically because you know you doing your thing already. So when you know, you let him know, all right, look, you know, here go this and that. But whenever you know you feel you ready, you know, I got you type shit. You know what I mean? Super Dre 3287 cut the series shit up. Boy, get your goofy ass the fuck off my shit. The fuck is you talking about serious shit, boy? We kicking it. Fuck is your dumb ass talking about? Get the fuck off my shit, nigga. Go find you something to do. Your bitch ass don't even got a picture on your profile. Get your bitch ass off my live before I treat your ass. But yeah, when you yeah, when you really been out here, man, certain shit, you realize as time go on that you don't get no points for none of that shit. You know what I mean? Half the niggas that you be locked up with, damn, I ain't see that Julio come out in a while. Right. This nigga don't need, this nigga don't, these internet niggas, man, they don't know me. You know me. I raised you, nigga. You seen me. You know how if it was real dark in the alley, me and you know, the nigga who talking shit through here would not want no parts of me. And you know that. The nigga will piss on his fucking self. But I'm gonna be cool because my dad on here and my mom gonna be watching this shit. So I ain't gonna treat his ass as if we was off camera and he said that shit. I will make his ass apologize, and you know that. Make that nigga say fuck his whole family and everything and record that shit and put it on video. But yeah, when you and they said right, for real. Cause you know I would treat his little ass. But when you live in this shit and all of that and you want to be a real nigga and all this shit and oh, I'm gonna send my niggas money, I'm gonna have a phone for them to call and all that shit. And then fast forward 6 years later, you don't even affiliate yourself with none of them niggas. You know what I mean? What is all that shit for? See, I grew past all that dumb shit. No nigga I fuck with is in jail. You know what niggas I fuck with doing? They on the streets being productive. These niggas got businesses or jobs or some shit. But they doing something. I ain't got to worry about JPay or layaway or Payless, whatever the fuck y'all call that shit nowadays. That's how much you know I don't fuck with nothing with jail type shit. And another thing, I'm glad I'm on jail. I need to say this. If your ass was in the streets and you had a clique that you ran with, listen, just cause you and a nigga, cause I'm tired of you jail ass niggas in my fucking inbox and shit like that, begging and shit. Okay, nigga, me and you, yeah, we know of each other. You know what I mean? We might have crossed, we done crossed paths in the street, niggas' names rang bells, all type of shit. Niggas, street niggas know what I'm talking about. Y'all know each other and y'all might have even been around each other. But I ain't one of your day ones. When you go to jail, it ain't my fault that all your circle went down with you, or you ain't have your shit, or maybe you did have your shit together, and then you doing fair time, and maybe y'all could go on 6, 7, 8 month droughts without being able to really talk. But a lot of you niggas got phones now. But check this shit out though. Don't fucking jump in my fucking inbox begging, and then you niggas so fucking goofy, it ain't even genuine. A nigga try to give you niggas some words of encouragement and shit because you niggas done been to jail 6, 7, 8 fucking times from the moment we first met. So you jump in my inbox, right? I shoot you niggas because nowadays you can't even fuck with nobody. That's why I don't go nowhere. I don't put myself in situations. I damn near don't even go to the grocery store. If it was up to me, I'll order the groceries and get them bitches dropped off because you can't even go on aisle 3 and get donuts without a bitch begging around this motherfucker nowadays. Motherfuckers don't want to sell ass, rib sandwiches. Don't even want to even possibly go to church and ask the church. You just want to just strictly just ask a nigga, don't even want to try it first, you know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, fuck it. But I don't even know what the fuck I was saying. Yeah, weird motherfuckers, man. Y'all are begging and all that shit. Listen, if I want a part of your clique, don't fucking be in my inbox. I'm trying to give you words of encouragement and shit. And then it turns out that you think you cash at me something or Zelle pay less or PayPal, whatever the fuck y'all call all that goofy ass weird shit nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, you niggas is fucking, like, bruh, I wasn't even a part of your crew. If I was, I'd probably be locked up with your dumb ass because you can't seem to get right. The shit that strikes me is with you dumb ass niggas. Like, instead of like asking me like, Rio, like, I noticed some shit, dog. Like, you been out motherfucking 20 years type shit, right? How the fuck you been doing it, dog? Like, put me on game. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of begging, ask me how I've been doing it. Like, damn, my nigga, I noticed some shit. Like, your name might have been involved in some shit. You know what I mean? But the police might not have had too much, but how you ain't went back down that road, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you should be trying to link and ask niggas questions about instead of motherfucking begging and shit. You know what I mean? Like, what like the fuck is going on, nigga? I mean, you didn't run together. We wouldn't get no money together, nigga. I never called you one time or none of that shit. That's why I'm not involved in your indictment type shit. Cause I don't move like that. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, I've been out here because I know how to move. The fuck is dummy? I am what? Get your bitch ass. I am 6'5". I don't give a fuck if you was a midget. Get your bitch ass off my live. But yeah, nigga, yeah, this bitch ass nigga don't know who the fuck. Well, I'll deflate all that shit. I'll turn your ass into a midget around this bitch. And then I have my mama now mad at me because you on motherfucking Oprah doing an interview on your fucking elbows. I done took all that shit from under you off. fuck, fuck out of here. But yeah, man, you don't get points for that shit. As life go on and you mature more and shit like that, you realize, man, that you know, keeping it real, just stay to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, just don't fuck a clique. You know what I mean? That shit don't get you nowhere. Just have a chosen few. And for those that know you, they know you. But for those that don't know you, let them take pride in not knowing you. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers want to be known and shit like that. Like, I don't mind going nowhere and not being known. You motherfuckers be scared to go places because y'all ain't known. You know what I mean? I like that shit. I'd rather not be known. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all different as fuck. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that Julio foolio shit, you know what I mean? Them boys got life. Now they finna see how hard labor is. One thing I'm gonna tell you is this shit, right? And I'm not saying I want to be locked up, but I'm gonna tell you some shit like this. I am 6'5", 250 pounds. Can you handle me? Man, let me block your bitch ass. You sounding like a whole female. Can you? You must be from goddamn holding hand land around this motherfucker or some shit. Put user in timeout. Yeah, get your bitch ass out of here. Just like that. Just like how shit evaporate out of here. This nigga got weird in the motherfucker. Talking about, can you handle me? What the fuck wrong with you? Talking about, I'm 250, like you just way colossal bigger than me. Boy, I'm 250. You better back your ass. What the fuck wrong with you? You think I got all this shit on me? You think I got all this shit on me out of fear, boy? I was in that bitch like a mob boss, boy, getting inked up, blowing Doja every fucking day. The fuck is you talking about? The fuck is there's plenty of motherfuckers who know me, boy. If my mom and daddy had a video on me and that bitch, they would have been proud how I was holding it down. I'm from a whole nother state. And then that bitch goddamn, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna even get into it. But for those who know, you know what I mean? Like, oh, Rio, he held it down. No fluky shit. Fuck is you talking about? You 256, 6'5". Boy, we laying belt over this bitch. Immediately belt laying. But yeah, man. Y'all tap in, go see that shit on HD. Go to YouTube, put in Julio Foolio, whatever the fuck his name is, and check out how that Tesla had that HD footage. And from here on out, y'all cyber trucks and shit like that and Teslas and all that police ass shit, y'all will stay away from them, you know what I mean? Because them bitches recording everything, you know what I mean? I don't even want to high five a nigga who pull it up on me and one of them. Like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? I don't want no conversation in them. I don't want none of them. They worse than squat cars and shit like that. So y'all know Tri Gang TV, you know, we stay promoting. You know what I mean? Y'all know the Tribulus Effect, the testosterone dietary supplement. Enough to last you 30 days, take 2 capsules a day, have you jumping off the dressers, you know what I mean, like Ric Flair. You know what I mean? It enhances all things. The blood flow you need to go to your pelvis area, it provides that for you. You know what I mean? Just you know, send you to the moon. You know what I mean? So tap in, you know what I mean? Like, share, comment, you know what I mean, this video, and Try Again TV. We out.